No. No. I got stuff I gotta work through. It's been a rough week. I hope all of y'all are doing okay. Expression. Hmm. That I'd like to read. That would be nice. That would be nice. That would be nice. Hmm. Neutrality. Good God. Oh, thank you. Hmm. I want to read these three and then I want to shuffle for one. Yeah. Oh, they're stiff. They're stiff. What are you? Huh. Okay. I'm gonna start reading stuff. I want to start with addiction. I've noticed I feel awful. Um, I started drinking and smoking every night again, which has been interesting as an experiment because it helps me work on creative things. But I stay up really late and I wake up really late, and when I wake up, I'm tired all day, and I'm like shorter with the world. Like it doesn't. Everything that everyone says feels wrong and personal. And then that was reflected a lot, obviously, in a lot of like current event stuff. So of course it's going to feed back on itself. And like getting into fights with friends and relatives and stuff over nothing. People taking shots at each other over nothing. It will pass. It's an interesting thing to live through, though. I haven't felt like this in a long time. I thought I was over this. But there's still some things that need to be worked through, I guess. So I'm going to start with addiction. I inherently deserve love, and I am supported to change. Addiction comes in many forms, and to varying degrees. There are obvious addictions like drugs and alcohol, or even addictions to things that are necessary like food, exercise, or sex. Hmm. There are emotional addictions like drama, martyrdom, or attention. Worry can become a mental addiction. There are spiritual addictions like meditating to avoid, using the Bible to denigrate others, or judgment for justification. Addiction serves to separate, a quality the Orions overcame through great adversity. First, it separates the self from empowerment, then, it separates the self from others. Addiction creates a sense of shame within. This card is showing you that you inherently deserve love and forgiveness. Releasing addiction may require assistance, so seek the support needed based on your circumstance. As you release the hold that addiction has, you are empowering yourself to know that you are enough, you are capable, and you inherently deserve love. As you love yourself, mistakes and all, mistakes is in quotations, you begin healing the cause of addiction and open to new empowerment. The light language is assisting you to discover your empowerment by healing addiction. It is initiating forgiveness for your past and opening you to new choices of self-love and healing. Number 1 of the 4 points, seek counseling, healing, and or medical support to help you release your addictions. Forgive yourself easily and progress into a perspective of hope. Appreciate that today you are choosing to love yourself more. Find stories of hope and support to assist your growth. Something that I notice, like, that I've started to take note of seriously is when I find myself in, like, engaging in these patterns and habits that, like, bring me momentary comfort, but the routine of it and then the headspace I find myself in almost always goes to a very, like, self-critical or depressive or paranoid or something extremely negative, which has been a nice sort of signpost to be like, this isn't serving you right now. And it's felt like a reaction to the external. It's felt like the internal and the external are parallel. And it's really hard to share this with people because everybody wants to solve the problem. So I keep it to myself, or it comes out in fits of, like, passive aggressiveness or rage. It's very, very sensitive. Like, I feel very sensitive. And it feels like everyone is very sensitive right now, which is perfectly fine as long as we can, like, still take care of each other instead of just, like, turn on each other, which is easier said than done. Especially, like, the whole idea of offering a solution is so based in, like, having your heart in the right place, but it's just like, I'm usually not sharing something like that so that someone can, like, come up with, like, a half-assed answer for something I've already tried or something. But a lot of my, like, loved ones, kind of, that's like the habit. They don't really listen. They want you to stop talking. That's what I've discovered about a lot of people in my life. And I have to love them regardless. I don't have to. I could go off and do something else, but I, like, choose to as a challenge because it feels like what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's really hard some weeks. And this week was really hard. Let's read about inner guidance, speaking of which. Thanks for being here. You obviously Um, don't have to stay. I'm working through some stuff, and it's intense. Trying not to solve the problem for people is something I'm working on. It's not helpful or for me. Yeah, I understand the initial like reflex to do so, but it can be very helpful for the other person to remember that they've probably already tried like whatever it is you're going to suggest. Yeah. Yeah. But I know it comes from a good place. Sometimes it comes from control though, and that's what I keep like noticing with my loved ones and friends when it's like emerging lately. It feels less like offering to help and feels more like need to control. So that's something to think about. Inner guidance, serious initiation. My inner guidance always leads me to improvement. That's something that's easy to forget, especially when I focus on things like mistakes or regrets or something. When all it takes is just a shift in perspective, and oh my gosh, those mistakes led me down a path that led me to growth. It just wasn't in the expected direction. You have a brilliant inner guidance system. The Syrians helped design it. You must learn to recognize your intuitive signals. You may get clues like goosebumps, a feeling of anxiety when you meet someone, or a thought of an old friend who calls you out of the blue. Your intuition is a vast, natural system that provides you with information beyond your physical senses. Releasing your fears helps you hear and trust your inner guidance. You can be cautious, attentive, and pragmatic while still trusting your inner guidance. This card asks you to learn to recognize your inner physical and emotional signals that are a part of your intuition so you are able to make healthy choices and changes. You are asked to discern your inner guidance from unrealistic fear and learn to trust yourself. As you empower yourself, you are then able to create the life you desire. This reminded me of the part of the addiction card that talked about how sometimes we can be addicted to worry. Are you listening to your inner guidance or giving your power away to others to make your life decisions for you? Are you stagnating due to fear of making a mistake? The light language is helping you to discover your inner communication that guides you with unconditional love toward your highest good. It is releasing the mental fear that keeps you doubting more often than trusting yourself and life. Hello, Lily of the Valley. I'm okay. How are you? What I should say is, I'm perfect. How are you? Because even when I'm feeling a little dumpy, it's still technically perfect. Who knew? It's nice to see you. Balance outside information with your inner guidance. Trust your instincts as a valuable part of your knowledge. Inner empowerment helps you recognize fear or genuine instincts. You are capable of making good decisions. It's comforting. I want to read about Earth Connection now. These were the 4 cards I wanted to focus on first. The Sirius, or the Orion Addiction, and then these 3 Sirius cards. This deck is called the Cosmic Consciousness Ascension deck. It's got 4 suits: Orion, Sirius, Lyra, and Pleiades. So those are 4 civilizations that are worked with in the Galactic Heritage Cards deck. This is developed by the channeler Jamie Price, who is peers with Lisa Royal Holt. So 2 wonderful channelers and authors who I enjoy the work of. And I've been really enjoying this deck because it gives like a much more detailed and nuanced series of ideas to think about with each of these civilizations, as opposed to the sort of like um, what I feel like I was slipping into reductive stereotype, where it's like, oh, the Syrians are this way, the Pleiadians are this way, etc. And there's like so much more to be discussed and discovered and talked about. It's like infinite. It like a group of people can't really be like limited to just one quality, you know, since we all contain like infinite qualities. Hmm. Earth connection. I've been thinking a lot about the Earth connection too, in terms of like, I watched this great interview with Lisa Royal Holt, who's the author of the Galactic Cards. Oh my god, Steph is joining us. Hold on. Let me close my window. Although I don't think that'll help with anything. Thank you so much, Steph. Thank you for the raid. BRB. Hey, Steph. Earth connection. I was watching an interview with Lisa Royal Holt, who was being asked about shamanism as she was channeling Pleiadian. And it went into this great conversation about like maintaining a connection with the earth, which I thought was really, really nice. And like how, depending on where a civilization is in what she called like their sleep cycle, shamanism can manifest itself in many different ways. A sleep cycle, I guess, refers to how far away a civilization is from remembering their connection to all that is, like remembering inherent unity with source, with each other, with their planet, with space, with everything. And so like one could describe our current like present civilization as like just waking up out of its sleep cycle, where we were so close to being so obsessed with separation that we almost destroyed ourselves. And like the pendulum is just starting to swing. And it's tough because it means we have to like look at ourselves and work through patterns that we got really used to. And there's no, you know, we can all do this in our own time. I don't want this to be like some, if you don't work out your stuff, the world is all gonna be hard. Well, I get that's inherent. I think we all know that, you know, if you don't work through your stuff, things are gonna be kind of tough. But we don't always know exactly what to work through at like any given moment. It's not that easy. Sometimes it bubbles up after being like pushed away for a really long time. So I've been thinking a lot about Earth connection and like they talked about the notion of walking through nature naked, and not just physically naked as a symbol, but like emotionally, mentally, spiritually naked, just completely vulnerable. Like there was this story about landing on a planet and like a new planet, and getting to know the planet by just stripping yourself of everything and walking around, just wandering around naked until you feel like a level of satisfaction with your interaction and communication with the planet. I thought that was an interesting idea. Okay. Earth connection. My Earth connection supports my strength and joy. Mother Earth is a living sentience. All the systems that live upon Gaia are interdependent. Animals seed and pollinate plants. Plants feed myriad species that in turn feed other species. Excrement and decay fertilize new growth. The electromagnetic currents that flow through the earth help you ground your energy and entrain your heart and brain, which are also strong electromagnetic fields. The Syrians are the master geneticists that worked deeply with human DNA to align your earth connection and support your evolution beyond physical focus into an understanding of your infinite subtle nature as well. The earth is as alive as all life and has a sentience that knows you intimately. Your health and happiness are important and have an effect on earth. Your inner healing has a profound effect on the circle of life. You can stand for your beliefs, practice sustainable living, and maintain the peace and understanding that love always prevails, though sometimes it takes time to build into form. That is the natural flow of life. This card reminds you that you are a part of that flow. The light language is enhancing your connection to Earth and the support of powerful Gaia. It is releasing fear of nature, fear of survival, and fear of humanity's harmful actions. I think we've read this card before. Integrate positive perceptions about food, your body processes, and cycles of time. Support environmentally responsible companies. Practice sustainable living and connect with nature often. Observe how nature reflects your own beingness. I've also been thinking about this a lot in terms of how often our electronics like seem to fail us, or like short circuit or glitch or whatever, and how like that happened to me a lot this week, and I had to order a new recording interface, and I'm not even sure if that'll fix the problem, but I did anyway. Hopefully it will. Past life integration, that kind of popped out. I'm interested in that. What comes after M? Where's... Oh, I'm in the wrong. I'm in Orion. Where's Sirius? Ooh. There we go. Past life integration. My past is the perfect foundation for my present empowerment. So this is going to be interesting because a lot of people have a lot of different things to say about past lives, future lives, parallel lives. This book says, your past lifetimes and your past in this lifetime have been valuable for your empowerment. Past, present, and future are valuable for the mind, but in truth, all time is connected. If you are afraid because of past experience or future possibility, you are limited. With past life integration, you are opening to heal the wounds of the past, activate the wisdom of the past, and expand your present and future. The Syrians are assisting you to release fear from your DNA. You don't need details of what happened, just intend to integrate your past, and it is so. If information is needed, it will come forth. Freedom will unfold over time. This card asks you to open to healing the past, whether you believe in past lives or not. Humans often have wounds from childhood with no cognizant knowledge. Perhaps as an adult you have logically chosen something new, but not fully opened your heart to heal the challenge of the past. Accept that all that occurred in your life, or lives, has been experience in learning, forgiving, understanding, and growing. The light language is helping you to integrate your past into more strength and compassion in your present. It is shifting your perceptions of yourself, others, the past, and your future. Forgive those who have wronged you or others, even as you hold healthy boundaries. Find a perspective of benefit from any past challenge. See all people and experiences as valuable to the expansion of love. Know that you are stronger than any experience of the past. I needed to hear all of that. I hope that helped some people listening. I'll do maybe one Galactic Heritage card read, and then I'm going to go. Because there's food now. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Would anyone like an individual read? If not, I'll just do like a grander one, just sort of a general one. Grander. Fruition. Or I could go get the pizza from downstairs and just keep streaming. But I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. Okay, that sounds good, Danny. I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm also going to make sure this is closed then. Oh, it's already closed. How about that? Okay. Let's see what happens here. The two on the bottom. Equal value, philosophy, and forgiveness and gratitude. That's fun. I like that. Okay. I like that. Manipulation. Acceptance. All of these are so good. They're so interesting. New perspective. I got to remotely attend Midwest Boo Fest earlier today, which was really nice. Which is a new little paranormal conference held by some friends in Indiana. So there's a lot of people who live over there who got to meet up, and they were nice enough to sell tickets to watch online, which was really, really cool. That was a really nice way to start the day. Okay. I think I'm getting to a place where I can forgive myself more for like having feelings, I guess. Because I don't know if you can tell, but like my energy shifts drastically when I'm in no mood. And it's hard to be around, and I'm hard to be around. And I don't know. I hold the belief that I'm hard to be around when I get like this, which makes me feel a certain type of way. But instead of spiraling, with each new bout of depression or panic attack or huge eruption of anxiety or whatever, I learn a little bit more about myself and how I can deal with it in the future and how I can incorporate the experience into my greater like understanding of why the hell I am the way that I am, and why the hell others are the way that they are. Hmm. Yeah. It's just like there are like emotions I haven't felt in a long time, and they're very familiar. And it's not like I want to like banish them from my like I don't know, wardrobe of emotions. Like they have a place. It's just like I can tell that they're like when they're sitting in the driver's seat and making me like do and say things that it's like that's not going to help anything, or like making me believe things about certain things, or like really like shutting down my scope of possibility into just like limitation and like concern and fear and paranoia. Like I will be so sure that I need to like reschedule something that I've committed to, and then I'll take one sip of water and then be like, "Oh no, I can fit that in this way. Why didn't I see that before?" Things like that, where it's like my reality seems so fixed one way, and then after just like a deep breath or like an hour or like eating a meal, it will feel like the exact opposite way. So I don't feel like I can trust like my intuition or senses or anything, and I just need to like sit and be quiet and be alone. But I wanted to stream this, I guess. I didn't stream on Thursday. And it feels like I'm not the only one going through this. So I kind of wanted this to be like open to people to watch. Hmm. It's like an exhaustion. I don't know how many of you in chat deal with like depression. It's just like the most tired you can possibly feel. At least that's how it's manifesting right now. Or like this week. It's reminded me of what that feels like. That like it's like this deep exhaustion. It's so familiar. It also made me realize like how much of my young adult life has been like driven by that exhaustion, like by that depression, by like a habitual reliance on like downers, alcohol and cannabis and stuff, using them in an unhealthy way. Using them in a healthy way, using them in a like revelatory way, using them in like a psychedelic fun way, and then like eventually losing the plot and like dipping into habit, I guess. And then of course, like, the energy will shift. And I'll be like, "Oh, no, 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 it's not negative. No, no, no. This is fine." And then like years will go by and it's like what really like shifted it for me this year was like how sitting at other people's houses and like completely like cutting it out from my nightly like intake and routine and like bed ritual and stuff, and then going back to it and then realizing, oh my god, I'm just thinking such negative thoughts. Like, why? I wasn't thinking these thoughts last night or the night before. Like, oh my God. Yeah. You. I like you for some reason. Is there one under here? Okay. Saving humanity. Number 43. Serious past. Saving humanity. Let's read about it, I guess. It's like immediately making me cry. There's a lot to release. In the early Earth days, the Syrians had positive intentions to protect humans and make sure that they evolved without interference. However, they became a bit obsessive about saving the human race. And many humans who were once Syrians still carry this karmic pattern today. It is time for this pattern to be released. Know that no one person can save humanity or another person. We all play a vital role in Earth's transformation. The universe works through us. All we need to do is stay open, release the need to force change, and be living examples of the Creator in every step we take. The commentary says, the serious cards from this era, which is the past, speak to the deep karmic issues of the Syrians when they were a young species. They had major obstacles to surmount before they could mature as a species. The cards from this era specifically refer to a time in Earth's past when Syrians were on Earth, often working together with Pleiadians to assist in the upliftment of humanity through genetic projects, spiritual education, and protection from what they felt were negative influences working against humanity. While they did perform many services for the protection of new humans, they created karma that took millennia to heal. Some humans today who were incarnate at that time as Syrians still carry this habitual pattern of trying to save others rather than looking at themselves. This card came up in your reading. It could mean many things. It could mean that you were incarnate at this time in Earth's past as a Syrian or as a human and had to deal with these issues, and you most likely have not yet fully healed them. It could also mean that you as a human in this life now have a tendency to try to fix things or save people instead of focusing on your own personal evolution. Look to the other cards. Often if there are other series cards, it signals a very ancient connection to this species. Pay attention to their lessons and see how they can be applied to your life on Earth now. Of course. Earth past, missing link. There's no water in this glass. Hold on. Hello. The human race has never truly been alone. Since ancient times, our ET forefathers have been working with us, both genetically and spiritually, to nurture our development as a species. Uplifting a younger species is a natural part of galactic civilization. You pulled this card because you have a past life connection to these ancient projects between humans and ETs. As you explore this connection, you will find that the so-called missing link is not just a genetic reference, but a spiritual one. What has been missing is an understanding of who we are and our place in a vast galactic community. This card has both literal and symbolic meanings, and how you apply it in your reading depends on the surrounding cards, your life circumstances, and how much you know about your inner self. The card text refers to the genetic projects of the ETs who helped to create the new humans on Earth, but the energy of this card goes much deeper. What do you feel is missing in your evolution and growth? Is that missing piece an ego desire or a true recognition of the next step in your spiritual work? That missing piece usually refers to a part of ourselves that we are denying. Perhaps you are seeking a more direct connection with your higher self and or the wisdom of the universe, which are really us anyway. Perhaps it is the ability to love and forgive yourself. After closer examination deep inside yourself, you will find that nothing is ever really missing anyway. If this card comes up in your reading, it may refer to a past life during the time of the projects and or karma that you took on at that time, but it may also refer to something much deeper. What are you searching for? This card challenges you to answer that question and then look more deeply. You will always find it is already within you. Generosity. Lyra, future. An ancient challenge of the Lyrans was to have a generous spirit. They had a fear that if they gave to others, they would not have enough for themselves. Eventually, they healed this pattern. Humans are now facing the same challenge as they explore the issue of generosity. Most people have no problem being generous when they feel safe and secure, but can you be generous when you feel insecure? Examine your patterns of generosity honestly. Are you afraid to give, or do you have resistance about receiving? Balance lies in being able to give and receive equally. That is a true path of transformation. Yeah, this is like almost literally exactly, like totally what I'm dealing with right now. This was a perfect reading for me. This Lyran time stream represents the Lyran culture after they healed their karma and the challenges of the past when they were a young species. One of these challenges of the past had to do with their selfishness and insistence on viewing reality in a fragmented way, which only accentuated polarity and kept them acting from a place of me first. This kind of attitude ignores the truth that all beings are really one consciousness looking through a multitude of eyes. Over time, as they matured, they learned that by helping others, they truly help themselves. If this card came up in your reading, look to the other cards and your life situation for clues. It could be that you are receiving a message to become more generous in life, not through actions per se, but through the intent behind those actions, which is much more important. Conversely, it could be a message that your generosity is being offered from a motivation that is not aligned with your spirit. It may also mean that you are being too generous and depleting yourself. Search deep within for the deeper meaning of this message. Ultimately, when you keep in mind that all beings in creation are part of the same one being, the understanding of generosity changes completely. Begin to see your generous actions in a way that reinforces the idea that all giving is really giving to yourself. Yeah. kind of want to do one more. I want to read about manipulation, I guess, because that popped up. Manipulation. I've been thinking about that. It's beautiful. And acceptance. Oh my God. I release manipulation and discover my power of love to create. I release manipulation and discover my power of love to create. Negative manipulation is lying with skillful use of coercion. It is using deception to create. It is for those that are not empowered enough to create without domination or suppression. People most often manipulate with emotions: guilt, pity, judgment, or fear, to name a few. The Orions experienced deep pain because of manipulation. It kept harming It kept people harming themselves and each other because of fear. As you create your life with love, you will find yourself less willing to manipulate others due to the lack of integrity involved in manipulation. Most often, manipulation comes from ignorance, since humans are taught that it can be an effective money-making tool, ignite people to act, or influence someone to give sympathy or affection. Manipulation is always justified by the one employing it. You have drawn this card to help you release manipulation. Forgive those who use it. Forgive yourself for allowing it or using it. Observe it all with detached compassion and know that you are able to create what you want without negative manipulation. Whatever you create with love propagates more love. The light language is assisting you to recognize manipulation and release the unconscious or conscious need to use it or allow it. It is initiating a power that feels safe with authenticity. Forgive yourself for using or falling for manipulation. Discover how to create what you want without coercing anyone. Hold your boundaries compassionately, strongly, and calmly when another tries to manipulate you. Choose authenticity and honesty to create your future clearly. I'm going to read about acceptance, and then I'm going to call it. Acceptance is a powerful foundation of change. Acceptance is not a weak stance of giving up or allowing another to overpower you. Acceptance is a receptive state of understanding that all is well, even if you desire change. It is a deep knowing that you are powerful and capable of handling all that is in your path. All that is in your path. Your continued focus toward your empowerment and improvement is beginning to form your new reality. When you are in a state of acceptance, you are calm, secure, optimistic, and authentic. Perhaps not every moment feels like joy, but your predominant interaction with life stems from your power. You are open to what is current and also aware of imminent improvement. Your intuition is open and flowing when you are peaceful and confident. Acceptance helps open your flow to the new. This card is reminding you that all is well. The Syrians know that to be powerful, you must be receptive to life and change. Acceptance of your now moment is a courageous and wise foundation of improvement that is born out of love rather than distress. Your open heart is your signal of confidence and capability. The light language is soothing you into releasing what holds you back from your deep knowing of your capability to create. It is amplifying your courage to enjoy life and own your creative power. Relax and enjoy more. Life ebbs and flows at the perfect pace. Pushing against unwanted experience takes much more effort and can rebuild resentment within. Be well with your now. It's helping you to refine your path. Let go of resentments and disappointments to open to flow. I needed to hear that. Thank you all for being here. I love you very much. I'll see y'all on Tuesday.